What is up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of the Rip the Net podcast, bringing you sports, culture, and everything in between, man. Excited to be back for another episode. My name is Eric.
I'm Dre.
I'm Alexi.
And yeah, man, how y'all doing, man? How's it going?
Pretty good, well, we got a draw over the weekend, so not the best, but I mean, life's good, chilling. But Chelsea, I'm looking for a little more improvement. But we're not here to talk about Chelsea this week. That's a little something. That's just a little something.
Yeah, man. We'll get to a topic which made my week terrible, but we'll get there.
Dang.
We'll get there.
All right, so we're all taking L's, man. That's good to hear. At least we're in community. Actually, to begin, man, listen, there was a big fight this weekend that I had a lot of feelings on. I was super excited for this Canelo versus Crawford fight. And, it was on Netflix. It was a big deal. 100 M's for Canelo. At least 100 M's was the payout in comparison to Crawford's 10 M's. But, man, did you guys watch? What are your reactions? How are y'all feeling? Let me hear it, y'all.
I did not watch. I did not see anything online about this fight either, which is kind of crazy because I feel like a lot of the time I get it thrown into my feed, like whenever there's a big fight. But yeah, I didn't know this was happening. So
Yeah, that is kind of wild because this is like one of the super fights of the century or whatever it is they say. Just in terms of pound for pound.
Yeah.
Well, I just made it sound a little crazy, but either way,
No, you're right.
If we're talking
You're
about
right.
pound for pound, like we're talking about Crawford, who was like pound for pound king for a lot of years, and Canelo was always in the top 5 pound for pound rankings, and he even himself went up the weight divisions. These days, people probably say it's Usyk, so and also Crawford and Canelo are both kind of on the way out in their careers, so it's maybe a little late. But if we're talking about, first of all, I did watch it just to be clear, but if we're talking about excitement and the narrative, not only are these two of the best boxers on the planet, but the narrative going into it, Crawford jumping up multiple weight divisions to face Canelo, who's the king of his division. So already there's the whole narrative: David versus Goliath. Will the weight matter? Will the whatever? Well, how much will the weight difference make a difference in the fight? And also the skill difference, because then people are saying, okay, well, Crawford's the better boxer skillfully, but Canelo's going to have the power sitting down on shots. Can Crawford deal with that power? So there's a lot of intrigue in that sense going into it, and also like the legacy on the line, because Canelo only had 2 defeats going into this fight to 2 amazing boxers, so it's not like, no shame in that, but the legacy on the line for Crawford to become the first ever 3-time undisputed, 3 different weight classes in the modern era, or like the 4-belt era, or whatever it's called. So there's a lot of narrative on the line, and outside of the fact that it's already the best fighting the best, because that's what people want to see. We're tired of these, especially in the modern era. A lot of boxers duck the best. They just want to pad their record, get in, get out, get the money, which, it is what it is. I ain't gonna be mad at you for wanting to get a bag, but for the fans, we want to see the best fighting the best. And Crawford and Canelo, and you have to give it, I know we could talk about sports washing or any of that kind of stuff, but Turkey Al-Sheikh out in Saudi, he has come through with the ring and Riyadh season, all this kind of stuff, and he is creating the best matches that everyone wants to see. All these people have been ducking each other for years. He said, "Now we're done with all that. The best is gonna fight the best." And within a couple of years, he's made a lot of great fights. I'm trying to think of some of them on the top of my head now. Even like the bringing in Ngannou over to boxing to fight Fury. He fought AJ. Usyk, Fury, which looked like it wasn't going to happen for a long time. Usyk and Fury have fought a few times now. Joshua, when he lost to Dubois. A lot of great fights. Usyk, all of Usyk's fights, basically. Even Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia, all the that card they had in New York a few months ago. That was a disappointing card, I won't lie, but it turned out to be disappointing. But the names going into it, you're like, oh my God, this is going to be amazing. So a lot of great fights we've been seeing recently, and this one is supposed to be the pinnacle of all the. Although we're still hoping to get Fury AJ, that would be crazy. But we can talk more about the fight itself. But just to set the stage for why this was such an exciting thing and why I'm so surprised that you didn't hear anything about it. Like, I know you're not into the scene, but it's kind of wild that it didn't permeate. Maybe it didn't get to the casuals as much. I am a casual, to be fair. Generally in boxing, I'm pretty casual.
I don't know. With all this talk, man.
I follow boxing, but I wouldn't say like
I am a casual.
Yeah. I should say like the mainstream is what I meant to say, because I like clearly I know a little bit, but I wouldn't say like there are people who know way. Like I'm not like deep into boxing like I am into soccer. So it's like there's levels for sure.
For sure. And yeah, I think I'll just add to like the way like it's been a lot of these big like fight cards, but you mentioned Ryan Garcia. He also had that fight in Times Square against Rolly Romero a few months back as well. So it's not only these big cards that we're seeing, but we're also seeing boxing is also now being seen as a sport where we can now see it as like this big spectacle. Like it's not just the people in the ring, it's not just the boxers in the ring, but it's also like just from a visual perspective, it's also completely changing as we see it. And I think we saw a little bit of that this weekend as well. Like yes, it was in Vegas, which is like typical for Canelo. Canelo is known to have his fights in Vegas, especially around September time. It's like, you know, he owns that like Mexican Independence weekend. So, you know, that, you know, there were a lot of people showing out for that reason as well. You saw just the support that he had on his side, but even just like when you just look, if you were watching the actual just card, if you're watching the other fights, you saw that the spectacle was there, and there was a lot of anticipation before both boxers came out. So it's really exciting to see that, yes, there is kind of a turn of the page that we're seeing right now, and I'm really excited to see what the future holds for the sport of boxing. And even though this was a high caliber fight, I think you're always going to look at this and think like, man, what if we had this fight, I don't know, 3 to 5 years ago? Like even though it was still at a good time, I think the narrative may still be, man, Canelo is towards the end of his prime, even though Crawford is older than him. So I'm not using like age as an excuse in any way, but like I do wish I had seen this fight probably when both boxers were in their earlier 30s. But still, you know, it was still a great fight. It was still there was still a lot of anticipation. And if we're actually going to talk about the fight itself, a good fight overall. It wasn't one of those fights where there's a boxer chasing another one, or there wasn't like any ducking taking place. Like these were two high caliber boxers going at it. And, you know, I think when you look at the result, I think Canelo just got outmatched, outclassed, and clearly Crawford was in much better condition. So from a personal level, I was a little bit disappointed. I was rooting for Canelo, but you know, I think the fight that we got was worth all the anticipation that was there. I don't know if you feel the same way, Dre.
For sure. I feel like, well, I was gonna say I got my money's worth, but it was on Netflix, so I mean, still pay, but
still paying,
but it's a different model, so I appreciate that. But yeah, I think going into it, I will be upfront and say I was rooting for Crawford, because for me it was like I don't really have favorite boxers in the same way, but for me it was for the story, for the underdog, I like to see history get made in that sense. So for me, Crawford jumping up the weight divisions, going to take on Canelo, and no one thinking he can get it done. Obviously, in reality, people thought, okay, maybe this is actually going to be a competitive fight. But going into it, Canelo was still the heavy favorite, because there's weight divisions for a reason. And usually when guys jump up the weight divisions, it's not about just, okay, now you weigh, like, say this fight was at 168. Now you weigh 168 pounds. We both weigh 168 pounds. The weight's going to sit differently on each fighter. You're coming up, you have to deal with more weight on you. Now, can you last the distance in the same way you did at 154? Or even Crawford started at like 135. So even then, it's like a crazy jump. But can you adapt to that weight class as well? So the fact that Crawford was in better condition than Canelo at Canelo's weight class, I think that itself was impressive. I mean, obviously he was shredded going into the fight, but you would think that it would be, from a stamina point of view, it would be more evenly matched in that sense. But even just the output wasn't that great from Canelo. It was a lot of one shot here, one shot there. He's not really putting together combinations. And I think you have to give Crawford credit for that. He did a lot of posturing before the fight. Like, it looked a lot like he was going to come out orthodox, but from first bell, he came out southpaw, and it was clear it gave Canelo issues. He was just way slicker, way faster. His combinations were put together. He didn't do that much body work, which I thought he might have. So the fact that Canelo was doing a lot of body work and Crawford still had the better gas tank, too, was like, okay, that's a little bit suspect on Canelo's gas tank there, because the output wasn't that high. But generally, it just looked like Crawford, his eyes, like he can just see everything that was happening, and Canelo seemed like he was getting frustrated over time. To me, honestly, it was pretty decisive. Like, it was still a good fight. I think you can have a runaway winner and still have a good fight. I think the scorecards made it look closer than it was. I think you actually watched the fight. Maybe if you're someone, you can judge it and say, okay, maybe you want to give Canelo more credit for like putting like walking forward and putting that pressure on. But a lot of these rounds, I think earlier it was harder for people to see it because Canelo was like more in there. But as time went on, you realize, oh, Crawford's really just picking him apart a lot of these rounds. And I had it like, realistically in real time scoring it, I had it like 10-2, 9-3. I could go 8-4 if I'm being generous to Canelo. I can't see a 7-5 or well, obviously it didn't go 6-6, but like the fact that we had like a 115, 113 or something like that scorecard, to me that's blasphemous. But you know, it is what it is. Canelo in Vegas, you gotta give something to that. But I think overall we saw levels, and that's no disrespect to Canelo. Canelo's one of the greatest fighters of the generation, and only losing to Mayweather, Bivol. And to be fair, in the Bivol fight, that's Canelo going up, and that's something where in that fight I was rooting for Canelo. I'm like, okay, I want to see greatness. You move up, you get that done. He wasn't able to get it done. Bivol absolutely dismantled him, to be honest. But losing that fight, and now I'm losing to Crawford. Those are three amazing fighters to lose to. So there's no like shame in that. I respect him for even fighting those fights. And obviously those are at different points in his career. So, or like young Canelo, whatever. But we got to see now, if Canelo's on this level, we already know Canelo's one of the top in the game. If Crawford is this like much better than him, like on a decisive fight, I know we could talk about time in the career, age, you know, obviously, like you said, Crawford's old too. Crawford, I want to see him retire after this fight, honestly. Like, I think you can go out on this. This is an amazing way to go out. But if Crawford is that much more decisively better, moving up in weight to fight Canelo and giving him a boxing lesson, we really have to have conversations about where he stands in the all-time rankings of boxers. Because now we're looking at, you are definitively probably the pound for pound. It's either going to be him or Usyk, pound for pound king of this generation. So both of them are now in these conversations where if you're that of your generation, now you go into the level where, okay, now we can have debates about with Ali, with Floyd, with whoever else, Sugar Ray Robinson, whatever, of all these all-time greats, Lennox Lewis, whoever. Put him in that conversation. That's to the point where like I'm not well versed enough in boxing to say, okay, this person over this person. I'm still gonna have Ali, because Ali, I think a lot of it is also the mythos and what he did outside of boxing adds to his legacies. I think it's hard to really surpass that. But generally, Crawford, I think I was just very lucky to be able to witness something like that in real time. I think that's an all-time achievement.
100%, man. It's really cool to have seen, just like you said, man, history being made right in front of us, greatness just right in front of us. I think this is the last fight of this caliber that we're going to see from Canelo. And listen, like, even though he lost, I was very satisfied with the way he came out. I think he did take, I would say, some of the earlier rounds. I was feeling good as someone who's rooting for him. I was feeling good at the start of the fight, but once we got around to, like, I want to say midway through, maybe like the 7th round, I think I was getting to that point of accepting, like, nah, this is gonna go Crawford's way. And I was honestly pushing for Canelo to potentially go for the knockout, and you saw that he was kind of fighting a little bit out of pace, out of his, I guess you could say, like his normal, not his normal style, but he was definitely putting on a little bit more pressure than he typically does, because he knew that he was losing the fight. And so it's crazy to see how many, like the chin, like the amount of punches that he took, and the fact that a lot of them, there were a lot of moments where I was like, I didn't know how much he was going to be able to take, because he did seem a little bit disoriented. Definitely seemed like he took some of those punches and they had a crazy impact on him. But, the fact that he was able to even make it to the end too, like, I also want to commend that as well. So, all around, I don't think I can remember the last time a fight of this caliber delivered. So I'm really happy to see that. I hope that the future of boxing continues to go this way. I think boxing fans have definitely been deprived of what they've wanted. So this is a step in the right direction. I think about us in high school, man. Like, we saw, was it Pacquiao versus Mayweather happened when we were in high school, and that was we got that way after we should have. Like, we should have gotten that at least 5 years prior. And a fight like Canelo Crawford, like, I think this is one of those fights that I would love to see a second. I would love to see a third. Like, I would love to see this become a series or a trilogy or whatever it is. Do I think it's going to get to that point? No. I think that's also just recency bias, because I just watched it and it delivered. But, I think, like I said, Crawford outmatched Canelo, so I don't really know if there's any there's definitely money to be made. I don't know if there's anything else that needs to be proven. So but me saying that is just, I hope that that's just like a testament to how entertaining this fight was and how much it delivered. So I just want to say, also, props to Netflix, man. The Tyson Jake Paul fight, I was very nervous going into this fight, because that card itself, like, it was so, like, the production was terrible. The connection kept lagging. There was a lot of pauses, and a lot of pieces of the fight that were missed. The fact that this and I know the bar is so low, like, I shouldn't be thanking Netflix for showing us the full fight, but I was nervous going into it. Looks like they have things figured out, and Netflix is just on, they were already this, like, juggernaut. It's crazy to see how much bigger they're getting, and how I'm just picturing just what this does for them as a streaming service. But that's neither here nor there. Props to them for delivering on the fight as well.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think I too was going into the fight like, we'll see how it goes. But I guess, to be fair, Tyson Paul was just before they started, like, their WWE run with Raw, and I guess they've worked out the kinks over the course of the year, because that's been a relatively smooth partnership there. So I guess we're really seeing their transition into a strong live sporting event. Or maybe they're gonna do, I know they actually have done live events before the sports. Like, I know they did, like, something with one of their reality shows. They did, like, a live finale or something like that. I can't remember what show, but so I think they see a future in that for sure, and that just adds another string to their bow. And it's smart. It's honestly smart, because I think a lot before this live sporting thing, a lot of people, and I think justifiably so, we're looking at Netflix. Like, a lot of these other streaming services are kind of starting to put you under a little bit of pressure. Like, you had that number one spot locked down for a lot of years, because you got the jump. You were ahead of the people, ahead of the curve. You had the original shows that people were excited about, like, 10 years ago. And then in the last few years, especially since, I guess, pandemic too, a lot of these other streaming services are coming out with bangers, and the Netflix originals were not hitting. I'm not gonna lie. They they got one off of Squid Game, whatever, but it became more few and far between. So I think Netflix, rightfully so, we're like, let's pivot. They're still gonna do their streaming service, their original programming and scripted television, but let's add something else that makes the Netflix subscription worth it. And honestly, it's working out. I think it's a smart new thing to bring people in, bringing the sporting audience, and especially working with these massive fights, because they're not doing it for a lot of different events, at least not yet. So at least introducing it with these massive events, something like a Canelo Crawford or a Jake Paul, Mike Tyson, as crazy as that was. I think they're doing Jake Paul, Gervonta Davis, which is also insane, but that's in like a couple months as well. I think it's definitely smart. And to wrap up the whole, Canelo Crawford, I think you made a lot of great points about the fight and I guess the state of boxing and like how these big fights don't always deliver. I would say like probably the last one that delivered I can remember was actually Haney Garcia, because that one had the whole crazy buildup and a lot of recklessness and then the fight ended up being wild. And then before that, probably like Usyk Fury 2 was good, but and even Fury Wilder back in the day, those are good fights too. But it's not always, it doesn't always hit. And honestly, it really doesn't always hit. Especially the best guys, they tend to be a little cagey sometimes. But for me personally, just because you mentioned this, I do not want to see another one. Only because if it was this decisive, I worry about, okay, you give Crawford more, now he has more confidence, more time at this weight, and more age on both of them. I worry we could see an even more convincing matchup the next time around. And for Canelo's sake and Canelo's legacy, I think 3 losses is good, man. You could go out on 3 losses, call it a day, unless he wants to challenge himself and take on like Benavidez or something, which I don't see happening. But
we need that.
Yeah,
I want to see that so bad.
I'd rather him go and do that. I guess Benavidez went up to 175, so we'll see. But yeah, I think this is a good one I understand what you're saying too. And there definitely is a lot of money to be made. So I would not be surprised if we hear in the next week, hey, Crawford Canelo 2, let's go. But I think it would be nice to see Crawford, especially when he's like 37, 38. Like, man, call it a day.
38 next month, I think.
Yeah. So call it a day. I don't think there's no better storybook ending than holding all these belts at 168 after starting at 135. And I think you can have that as your last image of the people you give to people. Call it a day and see you later. So, but yeah, it was a great event, great fight, and it's cool to cover boxing, man. We should cover boxing a little bit more. If there's any other big fights, not like every week, but
Yes, sir. For sure, man. Cool, man. Good talk, man. You got it.
No. Let's something important we got to talk about. I don't even have my notes in front of me because I'm the one recording. I'm getting some transparency to the viewers, but I actually remember exactly what's next because it's that important that we had this conversation. I'm just gonna host this segment, and I'm gonna let who needs to speak. But I have one question. Maybe I'll give a little preamble. Over the weekend, Manchester Derby, Man City absolutely smacked United. It is what it is, They are there you go. He's emoting again, just like last week. And I just have one question for you. At this point in time, the last few weeks, we talked about it. I've been telling you, or I've been at least saying from my point of view, even when we did the predictions, I think I literally said when we did the predictions, if Amorim is the manager for the rest of the season, I will predict Man United lower than if they were to sack him and bring someone else in. But I went with you guys. Let's leave it a little higher, a little more optimistic, which I respect as fans. Do what you got to do. But at what point is it too much? Or at this point in time, today we are recording September 15, 2025. Are you Amorim in or out? That's all I have to ask.
Then let me start with evaluating that performance, right? I think if we look at the stats, I see the expression, but if we look at the stats, it ain't all that bad. It's just the execution and some of these players, bro, have got to go. Buy Indir, book your flight to Turkey, bruv. Join Onana there. Luke Shaw, you've been a fraud for so many years. Get out, bro. Get out. Dog. Bruno. Ghost. What's his name? Dorgu. Like, if our only method of trying to get a goal is whipping crosses in aimlessly, when like 20 minutes into the game, it felt like it was established, you're going to have to maybe play the ball a bit to get a real shot on. Poor Sesko had like 20 touches on the ball because they just tried crossing to this dude the entire time. They didn't try dribbling in, nothing. No creativity, nothing. I put that on the players. I think we got lucky with the fact that this City team is not at their peak. And their tactic for the day was let Man United hold the ball because they can't do anything with it anyways. Amorim. Look, I'm staying in. Pause.
Hey, yo. Oh, my God.
I'm staying inside. No.
Crazy.
Look, I do not think sacking a manager, getting another one, having a whole season then dedicated to readjustment, rebuilding, getting the players this new manager, well, like, bro, I've said it before. I'm tired of the cycle. I'm putting my faith into this manager. Let him have the season. If it's a relegation battle, I put that on the players for real. No, hold on. Hold on. These players for years have been inconsistent and not producing what they should. It has only been pretty much the new signings and newer talent like Kobe, Mainu, Ahmad that have shown specks of brilliance and creativity and, bringing the joy of watching the game. All these other dudes, it's just crazy, man. It's crazy. I think, like, you can have a tactic, right? Your manager can set a strategy, be like, hey, this is what we're doing this game. At the end of the day, he's not on the field. The players are. They're making the split-second decisions. They're the ones who are very clearly scared to do anything with the ball. And they're the ones who are not scoring. That is not the manager. And I will also reiterate, going against Haaland, one of the best strikers in the Prem at the moment, it was never going to be a win. I was going to be very happy if we scraped a tie. And I knew with a loss, it's going to be the same news story because we're the biggest club in the world. Amorim, is he in or out? He's got the worst record since World War II. Bro, I don't care about those records, bro. This club
crazy record.
It is a crazy record. But this club is in such a bad spot, such a horrible spot from years of rot. Like Ralph Ragnick said, bro, open heart surgery needed on this club. We're experiencing it. This is it. And look, the way I view this too, sometimes it takes a little bit of pain, a little bit of struggle to get to the happy ending. It's never easy. If it was, everyone would have a Prem title. So that's why I'm saying I'm trusting Amorim here, man. I've got to trust the tactics. I got to trust that the January transfer window, we get a fucking midfielder. And hopefully our new keeper is a regular starter and never injured, because I don't want to see that dude Bayindir ever again, bro. I tried giving the benefit of a doubt multiple times, and he's had his chances to prove himself as a first team keeper. Nah, not good enough. Yeah, I feel like my thoughts there were very scattered and sporadic, but you can tell how that game left me feeling.
Mm-hmm. But in the end, your conclusion is to back Amorim to continue. So you're basically just saying the season's a wash.
As painful as no, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that.
You just said if we go down, we go down.
But even if we go down, I would like to reiterate, this season, the performances have been better than last season. It's not good enough still. It's not perfect still, but it has been much better. And it has been entertaining to watch. Has it been frustrating a lot as well? Yes. But at least I am slightly entertained. I was like depressed watching some of those games last season. At least this season I could be sad, but at least, have a little bit of that feeling of, oh, well, I'm still glad I watched the game, even though we got our asses beat. Because I saw something. And when you watch the game too, it's very different. I feel like so many people now just watch the clips, watch the TikToks, and they make their judgment on Man U based off that. It's like, you can't do that. Because if you did, the way we got scored against in that game, like, you would think we were like in the 5th division of English football or something.
You did lose to Grimsby, to be fair.
We did. We did. But the goals we conceded were actually pitiful from a goalkeeping standpoint, from a defending standpoint. Like, it was truly awful. But before those goals and in those in-between periods was where you saw more of what this team was doing. And I have to say, I just back Amorim, man. I do.
We got our clip. This guy's delusional. He's lost his mind. You said we go down. Hey man, it's the players, man. We just spent $250 million for nothing, bro. Eric, you look like you got.
Can I actually say something?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not gonna lie, man. I think I can see why the pressure is being built up against Amorim. Like, I understand.
Biggest club in the world. That's why.
Real Madrid.
Honestly, but Alexi does have a point though, in the sense that sacking Amorim, I don't know if that moves the needle. Yes, like I've seen the criticisms of how like his tactics have been very he has been very rigid. There's not a lot of flexibility in there, and I think given the results, you're gonna have like the media, the people are gonna want to see some changes, some fluidity. But like I think at the end of the day, given just the state of the club, I think that Alexi is right in saying like bigger picture, man, like everything is messed up right now. Obviously, you're gonna point to the manager and you're gonna want the manager to be held accountable, which is what usually happens. But it also looks like the administration of the front office at Man U, they are kind of gonna let this kind of ride out a little bit, which is frustrating from a fan's perspective. But I think he's right in saying that, listen, if you sack Amorim, that's just gonna cause more, like, I guess you could say, like, the future there is gonna have less stability. It's just gonna cause more instability. You're not really gonna know what the future is gonna hold for this club, and really it's literally gonna be the blind leading the blind. Whereas I think what you can say, if you want to look at it from a glass half full, like you want to look at it from that perspective, this is at least a manager who at least has a vision. He's not producing the results right now, but he's also pretty green still. Like there's still there hasn't been enough time with this new roster, and so I think he's not. I don't think Alexi's crazy for feeling the way that he feels. Maybe the optimism is yes from a fan's perspective, but I think what a fan wants, we want to see direction, we want to see stability, and we don't have too much stability right now. But sacking Amorim might compromise the little bit that they currently have. So I don't know. That's how I feel.
He's right, and you actually reminded me of something about the system. Everyone in their goddamn mind is talking about the system. The system. Why doesn't he just do 4 at the back? What is he doing? This 3 at the back system, we essentially have 5 at the back half the damn time. Like, with how it works, the amount of times our wingers are back there, it's like, that is not the problem, because that is what everyone likes to talk about. And I would also like to say, Ten Hag, when he came in, compromised himself. He did not stick with his system, his previous tactics, as we say. He tried building with the players he had. And look where that got him. So, with all these people talking about the system, this system, that's what I'm saying. No matter the fucking system, at the end of the day, like, let the manager do their job, but we have to keep players accountable, and we just have to keep moving forward and have some consistency right now. I would say, in a normal scenario where a manager is performing this bad at a club, yes, they get sacked. But I think given Man United's tumultuous history of managers at this point and ins and outs, we need a period of stability to establish a new baseline. The baseline of the olden days, that's gone. We need a new baseline, and we go from there.
Honestly, I was going to come here and make the case, but who am I to help my rivals? I can't even say rivals at this point, but like, honestly, if you guys want to keep them, be my guest. We can move on to the next topic. I was literally going to make the case, but like, really, why would I help?
No, let's hear it. Let's hear it.
This is funny. Like, I want Amorim in is the best case scenario for the rest of the Prem, because we're all looking at United like, this guy is the best. Like, oh my God, he's doing historically new lows for what's supposed to be the greatest club in this country. We're talking about levels of bad. People were upset with Ali for not winning the title against an amazing city, or Jose for not winning the title against an amazing city, or Ali who finished the top 3, or whoever else. The standards, even Ten Hag, who I was very, very vocal. Ten Hag was not the guy, but at least he won some trophies. And the standards. You're right. You said one thing I really agree with. We need to set a new baseline, and if that baseline is the EFL Championship, I 100% agree that's where we need to go. Why not, bro? What's the point? Spend 250 million? Doesn't matter. Let's go down to the championship. Let's play this 3 at the back system, which I agree. There are many managers in the world who play a 3 at the back system that work beautifully. Even Inzaghi last year played a 3 at the back into the Champions League final. Maybe they actually had players that suited that system better, but who cares about that, man? Just throw all these players who don't care about this 3 at the back system. Let's throw Bruno into
But that's what I'm saying. The players got to care, bro. That is the issue we have had. The players have not cared.
Being facetious.
Have not cared.
The issue is they don't suit the system. That's the problem. Bruno,
skill issue, man. Skill issue.
Okay, if we're talking about players, player for player, we brought in Mbeumo. You can say that's a good player. Cunha,
he's a good player, and he performed well.
Good player.
Yes.
Ahmad, good player. Kobe Mainu, good player. Bruno Fernandes, you make the argument all the time. He's one of the greatest players in Prem history, or whatever. You be glazing
this season. This season a good player. Not been it.
Well, there's a little bit of correlation with that, but we won't talk about that now. Lenny Euro, good player. De Ligt, good player. You can probably say you agree with that. You don't look too convinced, but we can say he's solid. He's solid at least.
Most of the time, I'd agree.
At least he has a history of being a good player. And if we look at other teams in the league, let's see, Man United 14th right now. Let's look at who's above them. Brentford. They just took us to a draw, so I can't talk too crazy about them. But United have a better squad. We could agree with that. United have a better squad than Brentford. Fulham. United have a better squad. Crystal Palace, United have a better squad. Sunderland, come on, bro. United have a better squad. Everton in 6th, United have a better squad. Bournemouth in 4th, United have a better squad. So I'm not hearing nothing about players, bro. I'm not gonna lie. There's something to be said for coaching a team to success. You guys are talking about if we get rid of Amorim now, what difference does it make? We have to start the cycle over. And I agree. I think the timing of when United gets rid of managers is terrible. They should have gotten rid of Ten Hag in the summer. If you want to bring in Amorim, bring him in before last season. They brought him in at a terrible time. Although Amorim came in, beat City in a derby with that Ahmad winner, and a year later they get smacked by City in a derby. That's called regression. Just to be clear, that's called you came in and then now after a year of you coaching these players, they're worse, and you just spent 250 million on new players and they're worse. That's called regression. But we can talk about that in a second. But they brought him in at a terrible time. I'll give you that much. And you guys we all agreed last season. Just write it off, bro. Give him time, learn the system. Last season we'll call it a wash, and I think that was fair. It was historically bad. But we could say, okay, whatever. That is what it is. And now we're in a new season where you backed him in the window. Maybe not perfectly. You didn't get the midfielder you needed. You backed him in the window. And now, 4 games into the new season, we're saying, man, it was right this season. It is what it is. We go down.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying, because I'm not even that much of a pessimist, man. I don't think this season is over. I think it's a rough start, for sure. And especially with the games we got lined up, it's a tough start too. It's not easy. But on a positive note, in a way, we're not playing in the Champions League, the Europa League.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. That one game a week thing clearly means nothing, bro. Clearly, that one game a week.
I'm saying, it gives us the time.
That was some propaganda.
More, prepare more, look into the tactics more.
I'm glad. Yeah, you're right. Them tactics came in clutch against
all I'm
Grimsby,
saying,
bro.
I'm gonna say this on the pod. I'm gonna make it official.
Okay.
The next 4 games, so the games we have until the next international break. Ask me how I'm feeling after that.
Okay, so after the next 4 games, we'll reevaluate this conversation.
Yes, because at that point, I consider the season fully like underway. Mentally, this has still been like the very beginning. I mean, fuck, we got Bournemouth in 4th. Like, come on.
Hey,
so
I'm not gonna lie. Bournemouth is the coach you guys should be going after. That guy, that's called doing more with less. He lost Dean Huijsen and Kerkez and Zabarnyi. That's 3 out of his back 4. One went to PSG, one went to Madrid, one went to Liverpool. And this dude, we got the replacements. He's coaching a team, and they're in 4th place. Obviously, okay, we're gonna finish to 4th, like you're saying, at the beginning of the season. That's called doing more with less. That's called tactics. That's called a system, a philosophy that works for your players. Amorim is playing a 2-man midfield. I'm not saying you have to switch and go 4-3-3 or 4-2-3-1 like every other team, whatever. But at a certain point in time, you say, okay, hold up. In the window, we didn't get Carlos Baleba or whatever midfielder we need to get. Maybe until the January window, I need to switch to a 3-man midfield, because if you're playing against City is playing with 3 men, and then they have their left back inverting, and they have Bernardo Silva joining the midfield, and it's 5v2 in the midfield, and we're getting absolutely ran through in the midfield, and we can't even build up through the middle. You guys don't build up through the middle. It's all down the wing, cross, like you said,
all down the wing,
and the cross. What team at any remotely high level does not play through the midfield in 2025, bro? Like, what are we doing? And you can't say that's players. That is his system. You decided to go with the 2-man midfield where Kobe Mainoo was coming off the bench and having more tackles or the same amount of tackles as Ugarte in like 20 minutes, and Ugarte did the rest of the game, bro. You know, man, I've said enough, man. Amorim, I agree. Keep it going, bro. And he's planning to. He's planning to. I had this in the notes. His quote, he's saying, and I quote, "I'm not going to change. When I want to change my philosophy, I'll change. If not,
what kind of accent is that, bro?" You put on an Indian accent for Portuguese?
That's not my Indian. You want to hear my Indian? I might get canceled. But we're talking. He said, if not, you'll have to change the man. And even Amorim's telling them, hey, man, I'm sticking it
Nah,
out with this.
He has. He said that, and then he made another quote about the players he got in the transfer window. He was like, these are players that any coach would want to have on their team.
Yeah,
So
that is true. Because now people, and I'm not saying this, I think you have to give him more time, but I'm seeing people online saying Benjamin Sesko looking like Hoyland. Like, what is going on? Benjamin Sesko, we all could have agreed when he came in, this is a good signing, a good player. And now if you swap Sesko with any other like of the striker signings that came in this season, other than maybe say Isak, who's proven in the Prem. Say you swap him with Gyökeres, you swap him with João Pedro. Well, even João Pedro's proven in the Prem a little bit. Swap him with Voltemada who went to Newcastle. I think you swap him, and Sesko's scoring goals for any one of those teams, and Voltemada is going to be looking sorry, or Gyökeres is going to be looking sorry, and you can't put that on the player. That's a system that is not facilitating to a player's abilities. Now, I'm like you said, 4 games in, we could be looking at it in another 4 games, and maybe something clicks. But I think the more time you go with that, you're really willing to risk your season, a season that you could have hoped or United are pushing for. I know we only put them at 8th, but you can say squad-wise, if we're going player for player, they should be competing with like a Villa, a Newcastle, whatever. To Newcastle have Dan Burn and Fabian Schär at the back. Like these aren't like generational center backs. Like we really could be saying United should be in that conversation. And right now they're looking like, hey man, Burnley, hey Leeds, what we doing, man? What's the championship really like, bro? Like, let me know what it's like down there. We'll see. Any last thoughts?
Man, pray for us, man.
Fair. 4 games, we'll check back in. Yeah, Eric, what do you think?
Yeah.
Nah, man, listen. I'm not going to be mad at a fan for being an optimist, man. That's all I got to say.
I hear your point. But I do think to the fans that are Amorim out, and I see it's still a vocal minority, but I think it's growing day by day. I think it doesn't make them worse fans for saying, okay, this guy is dragging my club to a historic low, and I want to see someone else have a shot at it. I think that's also a fair perspective.
I don't know. I think a lot come from the wrong place, though. A lot hark back to like the 90s, and it's like, bro, it's been multiple decades.
But like, you can even hark back to 3 years ago or 4 years ago with Ollie. It's not that long ago that even then with like Ollie, I wanted him to stay at the time, but it was the amount of fans screaming, "It's not good enough! It's not good enough!" Yeah, that was delusional.
Pressure got to the club leadership, and that's what I'm saying. Like everyone who in the fan base who's talking Amorim out, like I just tune them out at this point, because everyone who's negative in the fan base is always going to be negative. There's always going to find something to be negative about, always. And it's like, I feel like we're at a delusional level of if a manager isn't coming in and winning the Prem first season, then they should be gone. Like, that's what it feels like.
I think,
and it's been feeling like for a decade.
Yeah, I think there's 2 extremes. And I think there are Amorim out fans who are looking for that middle, where it's like okay, there's some fans who are like, hey man, I wish it was 1999 where we were winning the Champions League, whatever, and what is this? We're never gonna touch those heights again unless we get a new manager. Okay, bro, put the fries in the bag. Those days are over. And then there's the fans who are like, oh, we never, like, you know, maybe sitting on this podcast, they're like, we got to stick it out with the manager until relegate. I'm trolling. But I think there are fans who are in the middle who are like, we're not even asking the challenge. At least make us a respectable club again who can consistently finish in the top half. I think that's a very reasonable ask.
That's a fair request.
That's not like harkening back to 2008, where it's like, okay, at least we could say, okay, I can go into the season knowing we're in the mix for European football top 7, top 6 at least. I think that's a very reasonable ask. And I think if you're looking at what you've seen over the last year, you're like, I don't know if that's in our future, because we're hitting record lows. And I think that's fair enough. But I can see both sides. But with this manager, I ain't gonna lie, looking spooky. But we'll see. 4 games, we'll check back in. We'll have this conversation again. and maybe it's looking completely different. You never know. But what we got up next?
I think I could take this one, man. Listen, bro. You know, we usually talk sneakers. We usually talk about just upcoming general releases. Specifically, I think we look a lot at like the Nike Jordan world. This is going to be a Nike release, man, but this is going to be a little bit different, man. It has recently been announced that Nike will be releasing the Vaporposite Pro, which will be some foamposite cleats. And they're set to release at the end of November of this year, man. So there is still some time before that release takes place, but this is something that we have never seen before, man. So off rip, I know this is something that we've briefly discussed off camera or off the record, but I want to hear, man, how are you guys feeling about this release? This is honestly the first time we're seeing a basketball sneaker completely transform into a soccer cleat, man. So how are we feeling?
Man, I would have been good having never seen these before, to be honest. These are just like, I understand, like, these are like American football cleats, and why do they always gotta look so whack, man? Like sticking Jordan 1 silhouettes on a football cleat, sticking like all these classic shoes on the cleats. Now the foams, it's just like, whatever, man. Like, there's no real point to those type of cleats, I feel like, too, where like in soccer, you know, you want to have a good touch and, like, you know, it's very thoroughly designed with the game in mind. I feel like football, it's like, man, just running these, like, you're good. So I don't know. I'd prefer an actual foamposite in this colorway and like everything.
Okay.
And also shout out to the Neymar Jordan cleats from back in the day, because those went crazy for a soccer and a basketball cleat fusion.
Those were cool.
Yeah, fair. Neymar, you know, legendary player. I know that's your favorite, Alexi. that's still a debate we need to have. We talked about it a few months ago, but Neymar, I ain't taking the disrespect.
You ain't forget.
Yeah. But for these though, the foamposite cleats, I actually don't mind them. I do agree with you, Alexi, in terms of generally, I think it's usually you see like customs where they do like the Jordan 1 silhouette and they just put the studs on the bottom. I think those tend to look a bit corny. But I think out of all those type of melds we've seen, the foamposite actually lends itself to the cleat shape more than I actually thought it would. Because if you look at a foamposite and then you look at a cleat, you actually probably wouldn't think that, because foams are so bulky looking and cleats are supposed to be like a slim silhouette. I think they actually did well to kind of smoothen out the foamposite shape into a cleat shape where the design kind of works. The only thing I'm not really a fan of is like the toe box area. That looks kind of like a couch cushion, low key, and I ain't really messing with that as much. But generally, I actually don't mind. Like, if you look at it from the top down, it look kind of clean. Like I don't know. I actually don't mind these that much. And like you said, with football, it's not like you need some certain tech in the materials to be good for like your touch or whatever. Although now that I say that, I do think about kickers in football. I wonder if they have like specialized cleats. I never thought about that, but
they probably just wear soccer cleats or something.
Yeah, low key, that would probably make sense. But yeah, I actually don't mind these. Would I wear them? No, I don't know about that. But the look of them, I actually don't mind.
It's interesting. The top-down view, I can't get behind. That's interesting. You like that?
Really? That's so wild to me, because these are clean, man. I'm usually I think like a little bit of a hater when it comes to kind of just, I like the classics to remain classic and to kind of just remain in their own box. But these are nice. Like, I'm kind of surprised by how much I like these, if I'm being honest. But I guess you could say like basketball sneakers in the NFL are not a new thing. In the past, we've seen, and it's usually like the big players, you know, like the Odells, the Des Bryants, Earl Thomas. They really want to just like pop out and show off some heat. But listen, we've seen Jordan 1 cleats in the NFL. We've seen Jordan 11 cleats. We've seen Kobe's. I think we've seen Jordan 12s as well. I always like to see. I think these things are kind of what keep sports just like fresh and what keep, just like the fans on their toes, man. So for me, these are super clean. A white pair, I am a little bit surprised by. I think it'd be cool to see other Vaporposite colorways. But I'm not mad at these, man. These are pretty clean, and I agree. The top angle does look pretty clean, and I think it's because of that little, I guess you could say, like the little tab on the tongue, and then the swoosh right on the tongue as well. It's just that little pop of red on a white sneaker with like the black, like I guess the red is on the black, but it just pops out in a cool little way. The Nike Air on the back, it's a little pop of red as well. And maybe I'm biased because red is my favorite color, but listen, I honestly don't see anything that I dislike about these. And then the icy like bottoms on the spikes, listen, I think this is a home run, if I'm being honest. If I played football and was good, I definitely cop these. But fortunately neither of those things are true. But props to Nike for thinking outside the box. I think it's really cool to see this happening.
Yeah, Nike, you still dog, bro. Get your game up, man.
we had the Yu-Gi-Oh last week, and that was a little bonus, and Nike did.
That was a rare,
yeah,
like positive thing coming from them. Except the fact that I didn't get them on the sneakers, man. Fuck y'all for not picking me.
Damn.
Like,
that's tough. Got to go to Japan.
I never want to hear
black and white ones.
Yeah.
I never want to hear Alexi come at the Nike sneakers app, man. This man hit on a lot of sneakers.
Back in the day, yeah. You know what? I did use up my luck.
Ambassador, bro. It was sliding them some codes or something. I don't know what's going on, bro.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on, to be honest.
Now, you said on the podcast once that Nike's not hitting. They were like, man, screw this guy. They took him out of the pool.
True.
Oh man.
True. I will say, I will give him credit though. Those 4s. I forget if we talked about them. I think we did. The taupe. Was that what they were called?
Oh.
Those like the gray brown ones. Yeah. Those are clean. I need those. I do need those.
Interesting. So okay, maybe the heat back up. That's a couple of hits, a couple misses in the last few we've covered. So maybe you got a little something on the horizon. You never know.
Lower them prices, and then I'll give them more praise, man. Yeah, prices are crazy. I don't think there's a price tag for these cleats. I'm curious. Like, I'm willing to say these $270.
$270?
270 is
actually, I don't know how much football cleats go for, to be fair.
Because aren't foams already kind of pricey?
Yeah, foams are probably like $250.
Yeah.
How much does the average football cleat go for? None of us know. But so I don't know compared to soccer cleats, to be fair, but
yeah.
Yeah, I'm seeing Vaporposites for $240 on the Nike website.
Bro, Adidas got Ultra Boost football cleats. That is disgusting. Your foot would just be sliding in that, bro.
Yeah. I will say, man, Nike is down bad, but I am not mad because we have gotten some fire releases.
That's the bar.
Yeah, true. But listen, man, I ain't gonna be mad, man. A lot of these pairs that I was sitting on that I really wanted at one point, they are coming back out. So I'm not gonna be mad at that. Did I get the undefeateds? I did not, but I do have some white cements that are still sitting. I have on ice, and I can't wait to bring out. The Toro Bravos just got announced that they're releasing next year, and I waited 10 years to get my hands on those again. So, I'm happy with Nike. Listen, if the stock dropping means that this is what we get, I want the stock to continue to plummet, man, because they are giving us what we want. They're giving us what we want, and I'm not mad
them
at that.
Shareholders, man.
Yeah. Keep it coming, man. I don't care.
Although
bro.
if that happens, they're probably gonna raise prices even more or something.
True. But listen, I've paid some bad prices. I've dropped some stupid amounts of money.
We all have.
Listen, I'll bite the bullet and pocket those grails. That's just me. But any other thoughts on these Vaporposits?
Nah.
No, I think it's a great thing. We talked about Nike and their, potential downfall or potential resurrection or maybe renaissance, but we need to talk about this. Hey man, sometimes it just takes over me. I don't know, but we do have some more Nike conversation to have as we transition into this World Cup. So here we got the best Nike Air Max of all time. A lot of different stuff to go through here, but I'm not gonna say I'm the most well versed, so I'm gonna let Alexi take it away and lead us through the segment.
Man, I will say from this little World Cup we got going, it seems that it's a mix of silhouettes as well as multiple colorways per silhouette. So no idea what we're gonna get, if we're even gonna see classics in this. But off the top, we got the Air Max 2009 OG versus the Air Max 2015 OG. Me and myself, I wanted those 2015s bad. I never got them. But if I'm going off the colorway and everything, what I'm rocking today, I feel like the 2009 I would wear.
Yeah. I will say, both of these, low key, and I'll just come out and say I'm not the biggest fan of Air Maxes, but I will say low key, both of these, kind of dog water. I don't think I'd cop either of these. But if I had
you
to
got to
pick,
though. You got to.
I'm going for 09. I'll go for 09.
Okay, that's fair. Now that you say, I think 09 actually looks. I'm surprised that they didn't come back into like a trend with what was kind of trending in recent years. But
Yeah.
2015, I'd probably go for it. But as we do this majority rule, so that's irrelevant. Oh, okay.
Ooh. Air Max 1 alternate versus the Air Max 90 Atmos duck camo. There was a period when the Adidas NMDs XRs or some shit came out in the duck camo. I rocked them back in high school. I can mess with the camo when the color is right. I don't mess with these. Air Max 1 for me all day in this head to head.
This is actually a tough one. I'm not gonna lie.
This is not tough.
Give me the ones. Give me the ones. But I was very close to picking the Atmos.
Good. I mean, it wouldn't have mattered, but maybe it would have been too good for some drama. But yeah, Air Max 1 alternate by far on this one.
By far. Ooh.
Interesting.
Air Max 90 Velvet, Air Max 97 22 Power. I don't even know these, but that 97, that green, it's calling my name.
Oh,
Agreed.
Yeah, I had to go with the greens on this one. I'm not the biggest fan of either, but yeah, the green's a little more consistent.
I like that little pattern. It's got the people on there too. It's like little people. I thought it was like a camo at first.
That was like Keith Haring or something.
Oh, it does kind of look a bit like that.
Interesting. But
Eric,
I will
which
say,
one?
I was gonna say the Velvets are kind of nasty, bro. Like I think we're being a little too nice.
No, I'm not a fan of either.
What in the Craig Sager? What in the velvet rope? What in the red carpet? Like these are terrible. Like the more I look at them, because I think 90s is a silhouette solid, but this colorway is kind of disgusting.
No, I agree. I'm not a big fan of either of these, but lesser of two evils is the green one.
Yeah. Blue.
Terrible.
Rasta's crazy.
Give me the Rastas.
I'm not gonna lie. That tailwind's a bit of an underrated silhouette.
I was about to say.
I don't know if I love the colorway, but it's a silhouette I actually haven't seen much of. So now I'm making me curious to go look at others, but this is actually tough. They're low-key similar silhouettes. Similar, not silhouette. Colorways.
Colorways, yeah. I think I got to do the Tailwind. It's a good mix of kind of classic looking, with a bit of modernity.
It looks like they would have worn this in
Angles.
Saved by the Bell or something. Like, that kind of vibe. Damn, this is tough. I'm gonna go with the Tailwind. I'm gonna go with the Tailwind. That was close. But I'm gonna go with the Tailwind on that one.
Eric?
I said
He said
from the
Rasta.
jump. I said Rastas.
Yeah.
Oh,
The
you said
Tailwinds
Rasta.
look like they're like an Air Max cosplaying as a LeBron.
Low-key, man. They look better than
Low-key.
bronze though.
Yeah,
Okay,
OGs.
well, this is not.
Yeah,
Like-
this isn't tough.
That is.
Let me keep moving.
Actually, this is
95.
not hard at all. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, why are you making that noise?
It's not hard.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Okay.
Ooh, okay.
oh, Yeezy inspired or something.
I'm not gonna lie. Yeah.
I thought the same thing.
That's what I'm thinking. That's where I'm going, man.
Watch all the old heads be like, actually, this came out way before the Yeezys.
We do that.
Yeah, I think the green is a little off. But I'm still going with the ones with the FBs or whatever that is.
Yeah.
I back that as well. Yeah, I don't like that mesh kind of thingy, whatever.
Ooh.
Mhm.
Nah, these Warhawks are crazy.
I'm going with the hyper blues.
Me too. Me too. Me too.
Okay. Can I just say
I
I
will-
respect the creativity.
Okay, that's fair.
I wouldn't
Alright.
wear these, but on a creative level, I can
Like
appreciate that
those
they would do
those Warhawks remind me like that the feeling they just gave me, and you guys aren't gonna agree. It's like the feeling I get from a lot of those Dunks colorways. But we won't revisit that argument.
that. That is a crazy.
I don't get what you mean. I don't get what that means.
We'll get back into that. We'll get back into that at the end. We had a long debate about that already. I'm going 98. I think the 98 is underrated.
I also like that 98 like OG, but colors on that Flyknit, and I miss the days of Flyknit as well.
I was actually gonna say I think Flyknit was cool, but I think it was such an overkill with Flyknit. Like there was some pairs that just did not need it, and I think
It was
this is one of
overkill.
them.
Fair.
I'm biased. I want to hear y'all.
I don't love either.
Yeah, I'm
really?
curious how you're biased on this.
Really, I just love cork, man, and maybe it's the New Yorker in me, maybe it's the allegiance to the Timbs, but I will say one of my favorite LeBron pairs ever, I think, are the LeBron 11s. I think they're the 11s, the cork colorway. Fire.
You're a cork
but-
lover.
Yeah, I like cork, I like a little bit of cork. So this is
A little bit of cork.
I mean, I'll back you on the
Yeah, I'm gonna
on
go.
for this matchup specifically, but I don't know how much further it's gonna get.
Yeah.
I just think the hint of red is a little bit bad, but you know.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Hold up. That's first of all, it's crazy that these matched up.
That is. Yeah.
That's kind of insane.
My heart is telling me the OG grapes.
Really, I'm going inverse.
I'm
I
also
love
going
I love
inverse.
that gradient. Like it's a stronger gradient from the black
It is.
to the bottom.
Yeah.
Fair.
Very clean.
The 90s. The 90s.
Yeah,
the
that's
Royals
only
got a
'cause-
little Nick colorway going on there. You know, Eric?
Nah, don't do that. That's Golden State. That's Golden State.
Yeah, I'm going 90s too.
Okay.
Easy.
The 90s.
I agree. Oh,
Really?
You're thinking animal print. There's no
Yeah,
way
I was
you
gonna
going
think
animal
animal
print and you
print.
didn't like the Warhawks, bro.
I was about to say, like, this is an even
Nah.
louder shoe.
Nah, these also the thing is, I'm only biased because these are like you got to put yourself in the 2010s timeline. Do you guys remember the LeBron like the 2K14s? These kind of bring like a little resemblance to that. The animal print, the hint of red, which I know is crazy, but you know, I think when you look at Air
this ain't a
Maxes,
LeBron World Cup, so
it's a Nike World Cup. You know, we're in the same universe, but okay, we can go.
same
We can go with the
cinematic
90s.
universe.
Literally.
What the fuck is this midsole,
How is
bro?
Lunar matching up? Again, that's kind of
Nasty.
crazy. Damn, these are not great.
Yeah, these are. I
Give
feel
me
like
the
just the
90s,
90.
Yeah.
Yeah.
90 hype, but it's fair.
Beast pack.
Terrible.
Yeah, these are.
This is at least a minimal hit. Of the
Yeah, this is
print.
like the better version of the
Yeah.
animal print, to be fair.
Yeah.
I'll say Beast Pack too, but only because
What the
that
hell is
other
that?
card is disgusting. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's nasty.
that is atrocious. That looks like something you'd wear to a casino.
I look like the inside of like a Greyhound, like the freaking.
Carpet floor.
The low key, this one also. This ice, that's kind of same vibe.
Yeah.
You actually don't hate it. No, I do. I
I'm
thought
going the 97.
Me too.
Yeah, same. Oh,
now
okay.
we're
Okay.
Damn, this could have been a final.
Ain't no way, bro.
no
Ain't no way.
97.
I'm
97.
going the hyper blue.
I am also going Hyper Blues.
Oh man, what? Crazy.
Okay.
98.
I'm going 98. And
I
now we
was
can
gonna
talk.
say 90s.
Okay, interesting. Those are probably the last. No, we have some other 90s. I was gonna say at some point we talk a little bit about just the silhouettes in general. I know this is like colorways playing in, but we have a few more 90s. Ooh,
The ones.
I don't know why I pretended like that was hard. I'm going tailwinds.
Yeah.
What?
What?
Yeah, I'm going the one.
No, okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
But the tailwinds, I don't know.
These
Underrated.
These are both kind of nasty though. These are both kind of nasty. I'm not
like
gonna
in
lie.
today's
This-
age, yeah.
Like I'm thinking about realistically, I'm more likely to wear those tailwinds than those ones, personally.
That's fair. That's fair. Dang.
I ain't
wait.
wearing either.
Yeah, I'm wearing either,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I think the nod to the Yeezys.
Okay. Yeah, I can see that.
So, the ones.
Yeah, the ones.
Okay, so now
This
we
is
have.
good.
Now we can start talking a little bit about silhouette because
Yeah.
we're relatively, not 1-to-1, but colorways. They're decent colorways for both. So, but
That 95 is too nice.
This is actually tough. This is actually really tough. Generally, I actually prefer the 95 silhouette. But I'm not gonna lie, this is a really clean colorway of Air Max 1s. Like nothing crazy, but it's like very wearable.
Very basic, man. That's exactly it.
Yeah,
The
simple. It's
95s, you get that hit of red, the gradient,
I just-
white to black.
I just don't love the only thing that's holding me back. The only thing that's holding me back on these 95s is like that mesh coming from like that white, like above the gradient, like that mesh kind of thing by the red. That's putting me off. I'm not gonna lie.
Really?
But the rest of it I do like. I don't know how you feel about this one, Eric.
I'm gonna go with the 95s just because the silhouette. I'm gonna take the 95s over the ones.
That's fair. I can agree on that at least.
Now, are you a real cork lover here?
First of all, why are these Air Max 1s like? Why is the midsole like crusted? Like what's going
It's
on,
like
bro?
the OG.
Yeah, that's disgusting. But
Dang.
what do you guys think?
Theoretically,
This is
though,
actually
I'm taking the one.
What do you
like,
guys think about
on a-
ones versus 90s in general?
Yeah. Like on a silhouette level, I like the ones look more, but I've tried both on, and the ones do not fit my feet, unfortunately. The 90s do. So on a comfort thing, I like the 90s, but there's no world where I pick a Cork 90 over an OG one.
I'm not gonna lie, man. I think I might, and I know it's a hot take, but I think I'm gonna go Corks. And I think part of the reason why I feel that is, and again, maybe you can crucify me if you want, but these OGs got played. I think they were a little too oversaturated where like I don't feel a draw to pick them. But like they are a clean pair. They're not a bad pair. But like, I don't know. Again, putting myself in the timeline, because I would never wear Air Maxes in today's day and age. But the Corks, man, and then the little hint of infrared, like I think that's still nice. But I think I can stand alone on that, and I'll be fine with that.
Generally, honestly, these two silhouettes are both like, neither of them are actually my favorite Air Max silhouette. Like I like the higher, like the 95, 97 range more, but I think ones and 90s to me, like they're pretty like toss up in general. But if we're just going on the colorway here, I gotta go with the OGs. And I do agree with you, Eric. The OGs, you know, has been a bit. Although I will say, like with the Patta collab and stuff like that, I think it did get a little bit of more of a revival where I was like, okay, I could see them doing something different with it, or like a swoosh on the toe or something. But yeah, just general one is a bit like played out. But yeah, I think still Air Max 1. Ooh.
Low key, I gotta go with the 97s in a different colorway. Like that would almost be a perfect Air Max for me.
This 97,
It's not a different colorway.
Oh yeah, you gotta ask for it. That's fair. I don't know what the TL stands for, but this 97 silhouette kind of looks like in between the 97 and 98 kind of look. And maybe that's why it's perfect.
And
for
the
you.
premium, there's like the 97 premium or something. It's like a mashup.
Okay, got you.
Yeah.
I will say I probably prefer either 97s or 98s over this, only because that back, like near the heel area, or like, I don't know, those lines popping up, I don't love that spot. But that being said, I'm going to go 90s. I know it's a women's colorway, but I think the color combo is actually pretty nice on that. I think it's a good use of
It's a good combo.
Yeah.
I agree. Give me the 90s.
I mean,
dang, these are nasty.
These both finessed their living into this rap. I'm not gonna lie. Neither of these should need to get past this part, but
yeah,
I gotta go 09, I guess. Which is crazy.
Saying Alexa.
I'm trying to think of what I would wear like right now. I'm probably picking Beast Pack, low key.
Really?
Just off silhouette, I might agree with you. Just off silhouette alone. But I'm not gonna lie. I don't know if I can move with them with that fur cheetah print type thing.
Yeah,
I could see a world. Where it works, but it's not this one.
Interesting.
So, Eric, you're the tiebreaker, I guess.
I'm gonna go for the 09s, man. But
yeah,
these have both outlasted their time, man.
Yeah.
These are not.
yeah.
These gotta go.
Ooh.
Woo.
Inverse great, man.
Yeah, I'm
next.
Inverse great, but
Yeah, Inverse great, but this was not, you know.
If this were a
This is
regular
solid.
infrared 90,
yeah,
then we would talk.
Yeah. I forgot about that
But
midsole. Yeah.
this weird ass midsole is
Unnecessary. Maybe it's like a lunar thing with the, I don't know, but yeah.
Ooh.
95.
Wait, didn't we just have this matchup? Am I tweaking?
Yeah,
How did
it was a 95 versus a different Air Max one.
Oh yeah. It was like
I think.
the alternate one with the navy.
Yeah,
I was tweaking for a second. I was like, how did they both get here? But yeah, now we have a more straight up colorway battle. Even more than the last one. I'm going 95. even though I don't like that mesh thing still.
Give me the 95s, man. Give me the 95s.
98.
98.
Nasty. Yeah, I don't even care.
Hyper blue.
Hyper blue for sure.
Hyper blue. Yep.
That's a way better version of whatever that is. Ooh.
Infrared. I mean, not infrared. Inverse.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, yeah. I'm 50-50, but yeah, either way, it's
close.
Those are
It
both
is
solid
close.
colorways, yeah.
They are.
Ooh, okay. Oh, okay.
Comet red.
This is hard.
Silhouette.
And I love blue. Blue's my favorite color.
Same. And silhouette,
So,
I would go 95 in general. Although I think I'm pretty sure I own versions of both of these shoes, but just off the color. See, here's the thing: if the we could have washed the colorways. If the 95 didn't have that mesh thing, I still would have gone with it, even though it had red over blue. But now that we reach a point that a good enough shoe has come up, I can say that the mesh is going to be the reason I'm going with the hyper blues.
Valid.
Give me the Comet Reds, man.
Oh,
I
okay.
think they're too clean, man. But Hyper Blues, these could have been a finalist.
This
Those
could have been
finalist.
a final.
Respectable.
Ooh,
Give me the grapes. Give me the grapes. Give me the grapes. Give me the grapes.
I wish it was that easy.
I wish I could see the grapes top down. Like, I don't know. I wonder how
Nah.
that green looks. But, ooh, this is tough. What would I wear right now?
That's what I'm thinking. Like, if I'm wearing something, it's probably the grapes. But those 98s, like, in a different color.
Yeah, 98 do have some higher colors. But this is like one of the more decent. Like, it's not crazy. It's not terrible, but it's just like, it's all right. I guess, yeah, off colorway. Because I love both silhouettes, I'd probably have to go grapes. But
Yeah.
that's
And just like that, we end up with a 95 final.
which, does this say what unofficially what our top Air Max silhouette is?
Yeah.
Air
Yeah.
Max 95?
Yeah,
I probably have to agree.
I would say so.
I think it's that.
Between these,
I know where I'm
What
going.
do we think? I know where
I
I'm going to.
know what Dre's doing.
Yeah. You already know where I'm going.
I think I know what Eric's doing. I'm going to let y'all go first.
Okay, I'll just put it out there. And same reasoning from last round. And now it's even more of a wash because we have literally the same silhouette, but one of them has that mesh thing that's standing out with the white on red. And I think I have to go with the grapes on this one. Even though the grapes I don't think are the best colorway of this, but just in this matchup, I'm going grapes.
I'm gonna go for the grapes too. I was gonna pass it off to
I
Alexi
agree.
for some
I
suspense.
agree. I agree.
These
It's a
are
sweet-
clean.
I'm not gonna lie, I've never seen these before this World Cup. I didn't even know there was a inverse grape 95.
Yeah.
I've never seen
So
this.
interestingly, this is what everyone else is ranked.
We didn't
I
get
guess.
any of those top ones
I would have put these 97s as number one. If I was
Really?
just doing this alone,
out of everything we
Like,
had
from what we had, yeah, I would have put
over the
these
hyper blue. Hyper blue.
over the hyper blues.
Damn.
I can respect that.
Okay, interesting.
These
It's
kinda
good to
go
see hyper
crazy,
blue.
too.
Yeah, those are nice. Hyper blue did go pretty high in everyone's.
These
That's clean. That's clean.
Those are fire.
I might be the best pair of 95s I've ever seen.
Oh,
Those
slate?
are
Black and blue
Also-
is mine.
how much these going for?
Yeah, let's
Slate
do a little research.
Air Max 95. Ha, ha, ha.
Oh, those are tough.
Oh, this is not the same
Yeah,
colorway.
what's going
without-
on, bro? What's going on? They capped to
Is
it.
it like a reverse?
They're gatekeeping. They
I will
intentionally
say-
put the wrong colorway. Yeah, go ahead.
Wait, hold on.
I am disappointed with the Air Max, like with the pool that we got. Like there
We got
are
a
a
weak
lot of no Sean Witherspoons. That's wild. No, what
Yeah.
else? There's a couple. There's undefeated. Like I think there's undefeated Air Maxes that I'm a fan of. Undefeated 97s is what I was thinking of. There's also the
These
golden
are
one
clean,
with
bro.
red.
Come on.
Hold on.
Maybe I just mess with the green a lot.
Even the silver bullets up at the top was legendary colorway. We didn't get.
These go crazy. These are
Air Max
classic.
98 Gundam wasn't in here, but to me, those are probably the best colorway of Air Max 98.
Wait, this is a clean one too. Oh my god. Hold
The
on.
95 Neons are an iconic pair that we didn't get.
Yep.
Oh,
These
oh.
Gundams. Yeah.
we didn't get the I get I don't like elephant print, so maybe I stand alone on these. But the Air Max 1 elephants are crazy.
Yeah, these
there's
are a
also the-
classic. These are a classic.
Tough.
Yeah.
Give me the. There's also.
I love
there's
the
another
Air Max
pair.
Zero when it came out. Now I hate it, but when it came
The
out,
Bacons. Yeah, I remember the Bacons or whatever they're called, like the
yeah,
ones that are like.
those are cool. Yeah. I haven't seen them on this list. Those are the grapes.
Oh, these also. What are these?
What are these yellow? Oh, ew! What the hell is
It was
that?
like Gary Payton type beat, bro.
The Atmos Animal Pack. Atmos, low key, they've done their thing
They
with
done their thing.
Air Maxes. Even though they didn't make it too far in our World Cup, they've done well.
True. Now we're getting into some iffy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
No.
thinking too? When I look at like gotta salute Joe LaPuma from Complex. He's always rocking Air Maxes on the sneaker shopping
These
episodes.
the safaris, bro.
Oh, those are good. Oh, no
These-
off-whites? No off-whites either? Like,
Wait,
come on.
No. This is crazy. The safaris are this far down. These are like one of my favorites of the Atmos.
Not that crazy. Those are disgusting. There's no way you like these and you didn't like the other animal print, bro.
Nah, these are awesome.
The Travis Scotts too. Those weren't
Yeah,
included.
those are ass.
I'm glad that London, whatever
Those-
pair was that.
oh.
Those Travis Scott ones are like the ones that look like they're pissed on, right?
Yeah. Even would you guys consider the Kids of Immigrants ones like would those have belonged in this? Because those are kind of
Kids of Immigrants.
Yeah, you haven't heard of? I think those have been hot. Those were hot like last year.
Oh yeah, these were hot. I don't mess with these at all.
I don't know,
Nah.
man. Phoenix Suns kind of calling my name a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, if you were a Phoenix Sun, fair enough. But other than that,
Nah, but even Kids of Immigrants, man. Come on, support the cause. I don't know. That's just me. But no Vapor Maxes. I know Vapor Maxes aren't hot anymore, but
True.
Vapor Maxes were hot for a period.
These are a women's one. These brown
The
ones.
Off-white
not
Serena
men's.
Williams. Come on.
Bro, these brown ones are crazy. I kind of just
Those are
browse
nice.
them now.
Yeah, I'm just in my own world now too.
yeah, I think fair. I think
Yeah.
out of the ones that we got, it wasn't the.
These are the
greatest
newest.
collection.
The 98s, these are dog.
What the hell is this?
Wannabe
That's
Yeezys
nasty.
or something.
no Supremes either. I remember the Supremes came out pretty recently.
Yeah.
I know I'm just naming all the hype brands, but come on, I think those belonged. I think those belonged in this pool. Given that we had 32 pairs,
These
and
are
we
the
didn't get any of
second
them.
newest. The other DN8s. These I think are alright. They're not the best, but
I think they got to stop
Nah, I don't
just
know.
throwing
Those are
Air Max
nasty.
on any new thing they come out with, bro. Like this could have been its own silhouette, like separate from Air Max. We don't have
Actually-
to put the Air Max name on it. This is this.
that reminds me, for one final closing little 2-minute topic. Jordan Trunner.
Huh?
Nasty.
Hold on,
Nasty.
First of all, even the name Trunner does not sound good, bro.
Disgusting.
Okay, it's not letting me zoom in.
These are Hirachis.
I think this colorway's clean. Some of the colorways are clean.
I do see that. I do see the Hirachi a little bit.
I think it's that.
This
I can't
is
get
so
over that
like
little,
retro.
That little wing. I can't
Yeah,
get over
I
that
get a
little
little
This
wing.
looks like
braid.
Balenciaga.
Nah.
I could see people cutting these off low key and just
Yeah.
rocking the shoe.
Without those,
Without-
they
Yeah.
would look different. They look a little better. They look a little bit like I don't know, Pumas maybe, but I don't know.
Yeah, that little
that colorway is clean though. I do like that color combination, but that wing is throwing me off.
Yeah, this one. I want to say, were there any others? The gray, very New Balance looking.
Yeah. That bridge thing is kind of ruining it.
Yeah, but for 115, that's not bad.
Yeah, 115. They look like they'd probably be comfortable. So
probably.
Yeah.
Anywho.
Yeah, but that was our Nike Air. I know we went off on a bunch of tangents, but at the end of the day, that was our Nike Air Max, best Nike Air Max of all time World Cup. You know, was the winner the actual best of all time? Maybe not, but we only get so many random from this website that they give us. So that was ours, at least unofficially. The Air Max 95 Inverse Grape. What was it called?
Yes.
Inverse Grape. There we go. We got there in the end, but I wish we got that silver bullet. Ooh, that's clean. But as always, thank you guys for watching, listening. Anything you guys do, we very much appreciate it. Like, subscribe, all that, good algorithm stuff would help a lot. And we'll be back next week, keeping it going. Any last words? Didn't think so. Okay. There you go. Appreciate you guys again, and see you next week. Peace.
Peace out, y'all. Take care.